It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from York Brewery. We just finished the Guzzler, which, watch the review by all means, but I thought the ABV at 3.6% ABV was a little bit low, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But we're back with another beer from York Brewery, and this is the Yorkshire Terrier Yorkshire Amber, bitter at 4.2% ABV. 500 milliliter bottle. It was sent to me in an advent calendar, big advent calendar full of beers by Black Sheep Brewery. So obviously the people of Black Sheep Brewery, it's Masham in North Yorkshire, yeah. So it's brewed by Black Sheep these days. I sense an opportunity with this brewery. I can understand why Black Sheep bought them. We'll get into all of those things in a moment, but first and foremost, let's get this beer out into a glass, see what we get. We've got a dark brown bottle with a silver bottle cap. Bottle opener. Isn't it funny the things you learn when you're doing things on a daily basis? I knew then, if I didn't kick that bottle cap out of the way, I'd be tripping over it all review. It would just be under my foot and it would be doing my head in for like the 10 minutes we review a beer. So these days it's like, get out of the way. Very thin. One finger white head. Slow moving carbonation on this one. It's a clear, darker amber bitter. Bitter's not a colour. Darker amber coloured bitter. It's clear. There's no sediment in there whatsoever. The head has dissipated quite quickly. It's in this pint pot as well. It's very traditional pub, isn't it? You look at that. How many times have you been to a pub and you've had a pint poured that looks like that, and you're like, okay, that'll do. When you see, we're famous for it all over the world. All over the world, people think people from Britain who drink flat warm beer, and that's what flat warm beer looks like, doesn't it? Aroma. A malty bitter. Not malty as in multitasking. Malty as in biscuits. Slightly biscuity, slightly bready, slightly nutty. A little bit kind of like stinging nettle-like, little touch of citrus if I'm really clutching at straws. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it's already better than the Guzzler. It has, what I found with the Guzzler was, it was a little bit light, a little bit too thin, not enough body, and just a bit too kind of like 3.6% ABV. At least with this beer, I quite like this actually. There's different layers of malt, different kind of biscuity, malty flavours going on. Blooming cat on the roof. Got a decent taste to it as well. Layers of malt, layers of biscuit. There's some wafer, there's some biscuitiness, digestive biscuits in there, there's some wafer biscuits in there. Maybe a touch of raisin, a spicy pepperiness coming through. But I have a plan for this brewery. I have a plan. Now, I mentioned this in the Guzzler review. Most people know Black Sheep Brewery. Most people know them by their Black Sheep Ale, their Rig Welter, their Holy Grail Ale, their Golden Sheep Beer, and of course their lovely, now this is really good, this is my Christmas Day beer, their Milk Stout. Their Milk Stout's fantastic. They already have a range of beers at 4.4% ABV, 4.7, 4.2, 4% ABV. They've already got that range of beer. They've obviously purchased York Brewery. Obviously purchased them. What's the point in doing the same thing? When I was in York in April of 2024, I didn't see this brand anywhere. Didn't see York Brewery anywhere. I see Brew York everywhere. But that's another story. Great brewery from York. From York. My point is, if I had the keys to Black Sheep, I would completely rebrand this brewery. I would make this my strong beer brewery. I would be making imperial stouts, barley wines, strong lagers, maybe some Belgian doubles and triples. And the reason I'd be doing that is because York is an international, it's a world-renowned city. People travel from all over the world to go to York. When they think of York, they think of Vikings, and they think of, you know, when you go to York, there's Viking stuff everywhere. Yorkavik, the old city we call Yorkavik, and it was an old Viking. When the Norwegians come over, it was the first place they kind of like settled in and made a kind of city. At least I think that's what happened. The Romans were there before that, of course. Point is, when you think of Vikings, you think of tall, big, long-haired men with leather armour on and horns coming up the top of their head and strong. Black Sheep already have their best bitters. They already kind of like dominate that market, probably in the Yorkshire area. Yeah, I'd be making this York Brewery, 330 millilitre bottles, imperial stouts, barley wines, saisons, that sort of thing. Strong beers, Belgian doubles, triples, quadruples. This for me just doesn't work, because there's probably, in all honesty, not much difference between that and this. Why do the two beers need to sit next to each other? You might have a dying, shouldn't say that really, you might have a dwindling market of people that remember York Brewery and they're fond of York Brewery, but it's probably not enough to keep the brewery going. It's nice, it's decent, it's biscuity, it's bready, it's layered, it's nutty, it's hoppy. But it's not much different from Black Sheep Ale. And they're owned by the same company. Do something exciting with it, Black Sheep. This beer is a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Yorkshire Terrier. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.